It's Christmas time. Oh, hello, everybody. It's me, Chris Smith. And today I'm here to review the national touring production of the hit Broadway show, Some Like It Hot. Broadway's great big musical comedy. Now, I just saw this last week at the Hollywood Pantages Theatre in beautiful Los Angeles, California. And I was excited about seeing Some Like It Hot because I always enjoyed the old 1959 film Some Like It Hot, which starred Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon. What I love in this old-timey poster, that's actually a very good poster, it says Marilyn Monroe and her bosom companions. This, of course, is directed by Billy Wilder, the great director who brought us Sunset Boulevard and so many other big hits of the day. And as I said, it starred Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, George Raft, Pat O'Brien, and Joe E. Brown. Cinematography was by Charles Lang, and it was from United Artists. You know, this came out in March of 1959, and according to Wikipedia, which never lies, the budget was $2.9 million. It went on to earn $49 million at the box office. I'm assuming that that's with re-releases and stuff, because $49 million in 1959 would be like, but don't take my word for it. We're really here to talk about Some Like It Hot. Now, this is not to be confused with the musical Sugar, which was a 1970-something production of Some Like It Hot, the film, and it was named after the Marilyn Monroe character, Sugar Cane. And, of course, this is the new version that came out, 2023? Hold on one second. We'll ask. It premiered at the Schubert Theatre in New York, on December 11th, 2022. So it was the 2022-2023 season. It got 13 nominations at the 76th Tony Awards, including Best Musical. And, you know, the music was by Mark Shaman. The lyrics are by Scott Whitman and Mark Shaman, who brought us Hairspray, Smash, Cry Baby, so many musicals. Too many to name here. The original, the movie, 1959 movie, was based on a 1935 French film, Fanfare of Love. Oh, and guess who's here, by the way? Not to interrupt my review, but he was in the neighborhood walking by, and I said, I have to show Blackie Humphrey. He hasn't been on camera in a while. Oh, I love you. I love you. Blackie Humphrey didn't get to come with me to the show. I would have loved it, but I don't know how he would do in a live theater situation. One of these days, we just might try it. We'll put Service Dog on his back and see what he does. But you know, if anything rolls across the stage, he will start barking, because he doesn't like things that roll or move fast or joggers. So, but now back to Some Like It Hot. So it was on Broadway and had Christian Borle and J. Harrison Gee. Is it Gee or G? Hold on, let's ask the computer. It's pronounced G, as in G-E-E, but spelled G-H-E-E. I always like to try and find these things out, and sometimes I am in the middle of a review and I do not know. Now, J. Harrison G. uses he, they pronouns and identify as non-binary, and pansexual, according to Wikipedia. Um, and I'm a very big fan. Here is Jay Harrison, who was in the Broadway production, not the touring production, which we saw. And when they won the Tony Award, look at that fabulous outfit that Jay Harrison G wore. And that was the same year that Alex Newell won for Shucked. So it was a very, very important year in the world of LGBTQ plus. So let's talk about this production. I didn't get to see it when it was on Broadway, of course, because I hadn't been since 2019 until this year, and by then Some Like It Hot had already closed, which I probably wouldn't have seen Some Like It Hot on Broadway if it was still running, because it's on its national tour, and I don't like to waste. It sounds bad to say waste, but I don't like to see something on Broadway that I could see in a couple of months on a tour. Okay, so here is the interior of the playbill. And I must mention that the book is by Matthew Lopez and Amber Ruffin. So, a great team right there. It is directed and choreographed by the great Casey Nicholaw. There are so many really good directors and choreographers out there in the world, like Jerry Mitchell. So many. I sound like Valerie Cherish, who goes to do examples of something and then has nothing to give. But yes, really big names out there, and I just love all of these directors. They're so good. Here's the cast. You can see all this online. I just like to hold it up for you to see, to prove that I really did go. Does it say the time of the... Oh, the setting is 1933, Chicago and San Diego. And for those of you who have been living under a rock, Some Like It Hot is about these two musicians, Joe and Jerry, best friends, pals, musicians, more like brothers, and they witness a murder and have to go on the run and disguise themselves as Josephine and Daphne, respectively, and join an all-girl band, which is led by Sweet Sue, and yes, and that is of course where Sugar is the singer in. Now here's the cast. What's different about this version is that it's more diverse, of course, than the movie of 1959. Oh, I just hate this glare from this light. But what are you going to do? Here's the cast. Everybody was so talented. And I must shout out to that Sweet Sue was played by Tara Connor Jones. Joe/Josephine was played by Matt Lauer, not Matt Lauer, Loehr, Lauer, and Jerry Daphne was played by Tavis Cordell. Nellie was played by Darian Crago. Who else? Leandra Ellis-Gaston was playing Sugar in this production, and Minnie is played by Devin Hadsell. And you know what's fun? Spats, the gangster, is played by also a Devin Goffman. So the top two rows are the primary main characters. I should also mention that, and I should especially mention this, Edward Huvier, right here, is playing the billionaire maybe. He is loaded. His name is Osgood. Now, so what's wonderful, Sugar is now played by an African-American woman. Jerry and Daphne are played by an African-American man. Osgood is played by a Mexican-American man. So it's wonderful that now it's diverse. You know, there are some people out there that don't like that. And why don't they like it? Because they don't want anything to change, and they don't want to include everybody, especially people who don't look like them. Well, that's not how we do it in the theater. I'm sorry. You stay at home and leave everybody in the theater alone. We'll change the world on our own. We don't need you trying to stop it. Uh-oh, I got off on my high horse. I just get so mad. These people in Washington and all their cronies trying to stop the progress of the world and put their old-fashioned beliefs onto everybody else. Ooh, it just gripes my bottom. I'm sorry. So take a look at that. Change, huh? So anyway, let me get back to my review. So it's like Sister Act, or I should say Sister Act was like Some Like It Hot, but with nuns. So I must say I was excited to see it. You know, I've been wanting to buy the poster for so long, and now I can't get it. It's sold out. Look how beautiful. It's like a painting, really. And it says, the new musical comedy from the creators of Hairspray and the Book of Mormon. But look at that. You've got Chicago over here. You've got Los Angeles with the palm trees. I did treat myself to the big program. Now, I don't usually get these, but once in a while, if I really like the show, or if I'm excited that the program that they'll have is from the original Broadway company, which I didn't get to see, and this was the case. Because you're not going to shoot it, you're not going to shoot all those photos twice and then print out these books. I mean, you'll shoot the photos, of course, for the tour, but you're not going to print up the book. Look how colorful it is. The costumes are beautiful. And guess who did the costume design? Greg Barnes, who also did Boop. Now, I know what you're thinking. I just cannot get over Boop. Boop is one of those shows that I enjoyed while I was seeing it. Then I left and then became absolutely obsessed with it. Everything in my life is boop, boop, boop. Even at work, we're all like, boop. We'll end a sentence and do high fives and say, boop. I can't help it. It was just so happy and joyous and colorful in those costumes. Greg Barnes, and I believe he won the Tony Award for this. So if you ever need costumes in a show and you can afford him, if you're doing a Broadway show, Greg Barnes. You don't need me to tell you that, of course. The dancing, Casey Nicolau also, as I said, did the choreography and direction. The dancing was marvelous. This is an old-fashioned, a good old-fashioned, I mean, even with its diversity and inclusion with like when Jerry is dressing as Daphne. he really gets in touch with his feminine side and realizes that he wants to be both Jerry and Daphne. Which I don't quite remember that so much from the original. Of course, they have the inserts of the current cast in the program. Oh, and look, here's Casey Nicholaw right there. Okay. Oh, look, I'm already at 15 minutes. What do I talk about in these things? I feel like I rambled. Thank you all if you're still watching and you indulge and keep watching. I must say this was a good time. It was so much fun. There's a big chase toward the end of the show. I don't want to say too much. Look at these costume designs. But there's a big chase with doors slamming and people running all over the place. That's both silly and just very funny. Now look, they had a train on Broadway. We just had, I think, maybe there was a picture of a train, like on a, on the scrim or something. We didn't have a real train to get on. We also, not that I remember, I don't remember these staircases either. On tour you have less money, and you are trying to move these sets and everything across the country, so you can't have it all. If we get a Boop tour, what I worry about is that it's going to be smaller. There won't be 1 million people in it like there were on Broadway. But I hope there's a tour. Okay, now maybe I was tired. I don't remember when they're like, "What are you thirsty for?" Is that a line from the show? I'm assuming a line from a song. I bought the magnets there, and then, even though I wasn't sure what it's referring to, "What are you thirsty for?" I liked this magnet. I liked the design that's sort of Art Deco, and it's just a cool magnet. What are you thirsty for? But they didn't have posters to sell, and I've got to really find this poster because I have to have it. Yeah, so I got those. Let's talk about the tour dates, shall we? Oh, but before we do, I just can't say enough about Edward Houvier as Osgood. I mean, he just stole every scene, I thought. He was so funny. Oh, and what's funny about Matt's character of Joe/Josephine, and of course he falls in love with Sugar, but can't tell her that he's also Josephine. He's not even pretending to be Joe when he meets her. He's pretending to be like this oil billionaire type. So it's like lie upon lie. But all through, even though he looks pretty young here, all throughout it, they kept referring to Josephine as not elderly, but as an older woman, which was very funny. And he was like, "Hey, it's how it would be with me. If I were ever in a show, I'd be like the elder statesman," which is so sad, especially when you still feel like a child, except for all the pains. Okay, so let's talk about those tour dates. Here we are on location in my dining room. And I just love doing it this way. It's so much better than how I used to do it. Okay, so tour dates. We're currently in Los Angeles at the time of this taping. It runs through August 17th if you're in the Los Angeles area at the Pantages Theatre. Then on to Oregon, Portland, Oregon, September 2nd through the 7th. Then Sacramento. You can get all these dates at someLikeItHotmusical.com/tickets. And you'll get all the dates. But I like to go over them here as a public service. Sacramento, then Seattle, Washington. Look at these short dates. Spokane, Washington. End of September, we're in Salt Lake City. Well, not we, they are. Salt Lake City, Utah. Costa Mesa, California, October 7th through the 19th. So if you're in Southern California and missed it in Los Angeles, you can see it in October. San Jose, California, also in October. November 11th in Madison, Wisconsin. Columbus, Ohio is next. You can celebrate Thanksgiving with it. Then to Washington, D.C. at the National Theater. Oh, thank goodness they're not at the Kennedy Center. I don't think they would be able to go there. You know they don't like anything progressive. Oh, and look, they take off from December 7th. Isn't that nice? They get to go and have a nice holiday. Then back January 6th in West Palm Beach, Florida. We're in 2026 now, the future. January 13th starts in Fort Myers, Florida. On to Sarasota, Florida. Boston, Massachusetts, January 27th to February 8th. Then on to Toronto, Ontario. They don't have the theater listed, so keep an eye on that, everyone, for scheduling. Fayetteville, Arkansas in March. Houston, Texas, March 24th to the 29th. Dallas, Texas, we're into April of 2026. Fort Worth, Texas, and at the end of April in 2026, it is in Nashville, Tennessee. So, those are the tour dates. If you get a chance, I highly recommend Some Like It Hot. Talented cast, great show, funny, good music. Oh, and it includes the song Let's Be Bad from Smash. So then when they used it, because they were trying to think of a song about being bad, and then Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman said, we already wrote this for Smash. So they get to have the line, Some Like It Hot, and that ain't bad, don't. But in the Smash, the musical, they took out the Some Like It Hot lyric. And, so both the lyrics are a little different in those songs. Okay. I will let y'all go, and I will see you the next time that it's Christmas time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.